Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Navigating Seasons with Sonia, and I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you for riding with me on this journey, and I hope you're enjoying my stories and how I've been navigating this season of my life. So, as I always say, I'm going to keep it real, raw, and uncut. We last left off on the last episode. I shared with you about my treatment clinic, my access, how they cannulate me in my arm, and what that entails. I did share that my catheter had been removed from my chest. So I'll talk a little bit more about that and that process and those surgeries. Um, Once I had the catheter removed from my chest, it was a really, really quick just like an appointment at the hospital, and it literally took the guy, the doctor that took it out, all of, I kid you not, maybe 5 minutes, and he had to pull that out of my chest, the catheter, and I was all nervous to get this done, but literally it was no big deal. So took that out, bandaged me up. The good thing about now having that catheter removed is within like 48 hours, it had healed up and closed. I was able to get back in the pool, you guys. And oh my God, it was unbelievable because I hadn't been in the pool. And at that point, almost a year, I guess it had been. And I was so accustomed to going every day and doing all my aerobics classes and getting in the pool and the steam room and the sauna and the jacuzzi. And so once I was given the go ahead, the green light, I was back in the gym in that water, you guys, and it was amazing. So I had that removed, but prior to having that removed, they had already done my surgery on my arm to put the arm access in, the graft. I mentioned that I had to do a graft because my veins are really small and a fistula wasn't going to work for me. So they had to put a graft in there to support the veins and the artery in order for them to be able to cannulate me and dialyze my body that way. So whenever you're on dialysis, there's a few different options you have as far as dialysis. They can do where they put an access in your stomach and you do home dialysis. I didn't want to do that because, for one, you got to have all this equipment in your house, all these solutions, and it's really up to you to do it. I mean, they train you to do it, but I didn't want that responsibility. And the other thing, if you have pets, which I do have pets, you have to lock them out of the room that you do your dialysis. It has to be a very sterile environment. And again, I have cats, and my cats are all over the place, so that wasn't going to work for me. And I just feel more comfortable being there at the center where I'm there with medical professionals, and they can monitor my blood pressure while I'm having treatment and all of these things. It was better for me. Everybody is different. Some people may want to do the home dialysis where you can just do it through the night while you're sleeping, and that just wasn't something I was interested in. So, anyway, I got the access in my arm, which is how they dialyze me. I am going to be sharing some videos showing you the process, kind of, the blood coming out, how they cannulate me, the blood coming out, the blood going back in, what all that looks like. I also have some photos that I'll be sharing showing the catheter once the catheter was in, as well as once it was removed out of my chest. So you can see what that looks like. Okay. So, again, it's nothing that would make you squeamish or anything like that I think, because you won't see, you're just going to see the connections. And I'm also going to be sharing some video and photos of when they did the ultrasound on my arm prior to me getting my access, so they can determine if what area of my arm would be a viable area, I should say, in order to do the surgery to put the arm access in. So I'll be sharing that as well um, as we go along here. So you're going to be seeing all of these things. And again, I'll put them up in this video, or I'll have some shorts that I'm going to create that I'll have on my channel where you can go and watch for yourself to see how all that comes along. So, um, as you would imagine, this has been quite a journey and experience like no other. Um, for the most part, I remain positive, upbeat, optimistic. But I do have my days. I have my days where it is challenging. I have my days where sometimes in clinic, my blood pressure drops now. It gets really, really low. And so oftentimes if my blood pressure is too low, they have to stop treatment and stop pulling the fluid. They can still continue to clean my blood, but they can't pull fluid because my blood pressure is too low, and we have to wait until it regulates. There's times when, because of that, it extends my treatment, especially at the end of my treatment. Say if I've gone the whole treatment and we've had a few hiccups, but things are okay and I was able to finish and meet my goal. But once they take my blood pressure at the end, I have to do sitting and standing. My blood pressure always drops to under 100, the diastolic and the systolic, they drop. So they won't let me leave the clinic that way because there's not enough blood pumping from my heart to my brain. And I could pass out, I could have a stroke. Any of those things can happen. So it is something that's very, very serious. And they're not going to let me walk out the clinic and go get in a car and drive, and I can pass out, have an accident, anything could happen. So that's what I mean by they watch you very closely. I have a nutritionist that comes around and talks to us about our weekly blood panels, because they do take blood every week and check to see, where your phosphorus intake is, your calcium, your potassium, all of those things, because these things have to be watched closely. If you have too much potassium, that can affect your heart. You can have a heart attack. There's so many variables that goes into this. It's pretty amazing. Um, just to know, what's going on in the human body and all these things that's going on. So the team watches it very closely. We're in tune. I'm doing everything that I can at home, with my working out, with my diet, what I eat, controlling my fluids, because you are going to be on a fluid restriction. And so for me, I can't have more than a liter of fluid a day, 1 liter, right? And so that's anything that I drink, anything that has a lot of water in it that I eat, I have to be mindful of. So I'm always watching these things so that I'm aware of where I am, and so I'm not holding too much fluid, because too much fluid, again, it's not good on your heart. And so I have to watch that. And as I eat, like I mentioned before, I'm plant based, whole foods. So I mostly eat fruits and vegetables, beans. I get my protein in, because that's something else that they track, is your protein intake. And because I am plant based, I do get my plant based proteins in. Um, so yeah, it's really like a science to it all, and just being mindful of all of those things. Um, so that's what I wanted to share in this video. I am going to pick it up in our next session, my next episode, where I talk more about nutrition and monitoring the foods you eat, processed foods, your salt intake, all of those things that really are a big component to kidney function, heart disease, all of these things. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I don't advise, but I do have a lot of experience around these things. So, and it's just my way of sharing so I can bring about awareness for other people, for what you're putting in your body and feeding your families, and all of these things is so, so very important. I'm also going to be sharing with you the demographic at the clinic centers and what that looks like, it's going to shock you. It's surprising. It will blow your mind. And just, the amount of money that they make from people being in this position and being sick and in these chairs and getting this treatment, it's huge. It's a business. It really is. And it's unfortunate that people's lives are at stake, all because of making money. So I'm going to end that here. This is a birthday episode. I'm still in my birthday dress. I've had a beautiful day, beautiful birthday, and I'm just very, very grateful. So until we meet again, be kind, extend grace, and live your life in spite of whatever it is you're walking through, whatever season you're in. Live your life. All right? I'll see you soon. Smooches.